Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. The New York Yankees have a 2-0 series lead on the Cleveland Guardians. I guess we could talk about it just a little bit, huh? Let's talk ball. It's hype over here, Trev. I gotta be real with you. Luke
Brian
Weaver.
Rocchio. Who doesn't matter? Brian Rocchio.
Yeah. Unless it's a pop-up. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. Baseball playoffs are here. If you don't know, then I just don't even get it at this point. Your simulation's broken. DM Trev about it. Use code JOHNBOYPLAYOFFS10. JOHNBOYPLAYOFFS10, 10% off your order, whether you're a first-time buyer or not. You could go to beautiful New York, where there was a game tonight. There's a game tomorrow at a different stadium in New York. JOHNBOY Playoffs 10. Go to Cleveland. Gorgeous. Nice chill in the air. The Jake. That's what they call me. JOHNBOY Playoffs 10. 10% off your next purchase. Trevor Plouffe. How you doing, my man?
You know I'm in my feelings, Jay.
Yeah,
you know
I'm hype about it.
Yeah, there's a guy named Adam wrote this article about the digital dark ages. It popped up on my phone, dude, and I started reading about the digital dark ages, and now I'm just like, I'm kind of depressed.
Yeah.
Like nothing is going to be saved, even though you think now everything's on the internet. It's going to be there forever. In fact, it's not. In fact, we're erasing everything, and what matters anymore? I don't really know. I only have really one question for you about the game tonight. Then we can just end this episode. What was the temperature?
In New York, in our recording studio.
In New York, in the stadium, in the Bronx.
It's chilly.
Like what?
I think we're right around like 50, like 50.
Like hand warmers, wearing it on your baseball uniform.
Depending where you grew up, yes.
Isn't Rocchio from Hawaii?
No,
that's Cantillo.
That's Cantillo. He's from Hawaii.
Rocchio's from Venezuela, I think.
Yeah. Hey, man. They don't get a lot of 50 and breezy in some countries.
I don't know. That was interesting to me. That was like the first time I was like, "What's going on out there, guys? What are we doing here?" The whole quarterback hand warmer thing?
Yeah, it's an interesting combo because baseball's very much not like an embrace the cold. Like, it's not go out there sleeveless like the O-linemen and stuff. Like, it's kind of like, hey, put on that mask that goes on like all the way so you're only eyes at one point. Like, certain guys,
that's like a new thing. When they started wearing the ninja masks, I was like, okay, what's going on here? I never did that. I didn't like the breathing into it type thing. It used to be like, I learned this from the Latin guys, baby oil before the game. Under the sleeves creates like a little barrier. That's interesting. Look, I didn't like the cold. I grew up in Southern California. It wasn't about that life. I didn't think it was that cold there, but end of the show.
Growing up in the beautiful Northeast, it felt like every fall or spring sporting game I played in was 55 degrees with light rain. So I'd like to think I'd be okay for that. I just wasn't as good at the baseball part. Neither is anyone from the Northeast. Ooh, shots fired. Big Cali app. And a big simulation app. But we do have to talk a lot about the New York Yankees, who are 2-0 in the ALCS. Some could say their best playoff positioning since 2009.
I mean, they're going to the World Series, Jake.
Trev!
It sure seems like it, Pop.
What are you talking about, dude? Matthew Boyd.
They did load the bases against Garrett Cole a few different times.
Tanner Bibee.
Nervous? I don't know. Tell us about the game.
Hey, let's do the game. We'll dive into this, and we'll do a couple big picture stuff because our Yankee fans feeling good, not feeling bad. Cleveland's number one starter, Danny Tanner Bibee, pitching in front of a full house in the Bronx against the Yanks, and their ace, Garrett Cole, would try to put Cleveland in a 2-0 hole. Aaron Judge on the back of milk cartons, but here in the first, Brian Rocchio Drop that ball. 1-0 Yanks on the error. Bottom 2. Teach me how to doogie. Can you teach me how to doogie? RBI double for Verdugo. Hey, has anyone seen Aaron Judge? Intentional walk to Juan Soto to face Judge. The sac fly is properly rated here as the captain just seems to click off. 3-0 Yanks. An ugly fifth for Cole as he gets pulled. 4.2, 2 earnings, 4 walks, and 6 hits. He gets bailed out by Holmes, Hill, and Canely in the 6th. How about a little fortitude by Anthony Rizzo as he makes it fortitude with his double. And then, oh, captain, my captain. They're standing on tables as the big fella goes yard. Weave gives the not underrated Jose Ramirez a homer. Who cares? Yanks take game 2. 6-3 final.
I like when you sing. I like that. It's my favorite part.
Anytime, pal.
Can I tell you something? I wrote twice on my notes.
Oh, I love your notes. I got a picture of the notes today. Oh, BPH.
There was 2 of them.
Yeah.
Rocchio did it and Jazz did it. And I was like, you know what? I love that. I'm trying to put people on the bounce pass since like 2008. And here we are on the big stage. Where do you want to start?
And they did it to, well, you know, Giancarlo doesn't exactly fly down the line, and Naylor is on that Storielli fitness routine these days. And it was smart baseball, both of those plays. Let's start with the starters because I think, and I think let's start with Bibee because Tanner Bibee put together a very strong season this year, like a 3-WAR season, 31 starts, mid-3s ERA, whatever. And Cleveland, they are looking for length wherever they can find it. Been there, Cleveland. And Bibee was especially in the 7-game set, it was kind of like, all right, him. Matthew Boyd, his first start against Detroit was a solid playoff start. Bibee comes out, and in the first, Gleyber and Soto, man. A little teaser for the Talkin Baseball offseason. Gleyber Torres is going to have a wild free agency because his defense is pretty tough at a tough spot to be bad at defense. But he is now leading the Yankees in the leadoff spot after having an awful first half of the season. Him and Soto are getting on base both at an over 800 clip in the first inning. Ironically, the problem has been Aaron Judge.
Yes.
And Austin Wells. So Bibee kind of gets in and out of trouble, except the drop by Rocchio, which, Trev, it's windy, it's cold, it's whatever. You can't do that after losing game 1 and you guys are the underdogs in this series. Like, that can't happen, man.
That's the underlying theme I think we've seen so far in the series. It was kind of like the theme coming into the series that, this ball does go a mile in the air.
Sure.
There's no doubt. Look how much he's just drifting. And that's not, he's getting to the spot, but that ball is moving on him. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You got it. Side, no good.
Ron Gardenhire's not pulling you to the side and say, oh, you were drifting. Don't worry about it, pal.
Not sure I ever missed a pop-up. If we're being honest, like, I catch a pop-up.
Love that. We'll get our research team on it.
I shouldn't have.
Yep.
Incoming tweet by Kyle. The throws were a problem. Yeah, I actually thought Bibee did a great job limiting the damage in that inning. You know, Torres has a great at-bat. Obviously, he's been great. You just mentioned him and Soto. After that, Bibee K's Wells, and then Brennan with a great catch down the right field. That was a juxtaposition of kind of who the Guardians are. I mean, he went down. That's not an easy right field to play. There's 0 foul territory at that point. You have to get down into a slide to stop yourself and your momentum from going into the wall. He did great. And then Chisholm, 3-2 K. So, 1-0. Okay, that's no big deal. And then because of, I think Vogt and the Guardians are feeling the pressure, bottom second, he gets into a little bit of trouble. Normal season game, he's still working through all this stuff, but instead it's It's Volpe, a nice 2-strike at bat up the middle. Rizzo base hit, Rizzo's been awesome,
Yeah,
huh?
looks great.
Holy shnikey. Volpe aggressive first to third there. Then Verdugo, nice knock down the line. And then it is um, gets Torres to fly out. And then it's the intentional walk. And everyone's like, holy shoot. Like, but again, like kind of understand it. Like, I'd rather face Judge than Soto right now. And Judge, Cade Smith comes in, gets the 2 strikes, sack fly, does his job, but again, just seems like a little bit off. But by that time, it's already 3-0. It's like, man, this seems like it's going to be really tough to come back. Although the Guardians end up putting some pressure on Garrett Cole. I mean, they really did. I think, even in the next inning, 2 guys on, so it's Rocchio and Kwan get on, and J-Ram, 2 runners on, 2 outs, fly out to center field. Like, he's had a couple of these moments, like late in the game 1, this one, where he's been in these situations to put his team or get his team right back in the game, and he really hasn't come through. And then again in the 4th and the 5th, they had bases loaded, and end up getting 2 in the 5th, but it just, the big swings weren't there for them. I think that's kind of, when we talk about the themes of this series, who the Guardians are, they have to play really good defense. They have to do their best to slow this Yankees offense down. And then what they've done all year is timely hitting. That's just who they've been. It's been a bunch of different guys on their team. They really haven't gotten that done in the first 2 games in this series.
Yeah, Cole, they had an all lefty or switch lineup except Lane Thomas, which I'm not going to use as an excuse for Garrett Cole. Like, you're still Garrett Cole. Like, and this isn't to be rude, but, Bo Naylor, Will Brennan, like, Rocchio's actually having an incredible postseason, but you're supposed to be Garrett Cole. Like, you got to go out and get it done. That they do knock him out of the game. 4.1 hits, walks, all of it. And yeah, with the Guardians' aggressive moves, I hope this doesn't come off as Big Brother, like, hey, good moves. But I think they attacked this game. Like, this was for the Guardians. If you think the Guardians are going to win this series, go to DraftKings and place a nice bet, because you could make a nice chunk of change, because the world thinks the Yankees are going to the World Series. That Vogt played this game aggressively. He brings out Cade Smith early. He pinch hits David Fry in a big moment. He pinch hits for Naylor, which that means that's a double burn, because now you're going to bring in Hedges to catch. Fry goes first pitch fastball hunting. Which
first pitch, yeah. He got a decent pitch to hit, but
dangerous pitch by Cole. Like, he's looking for that one. That Cole, if there's a guy that believes in his fastball, it's Garrett Cole.
And the bases loaded, Fry comes in, first pitch pop up to Jazz, and then Rocchio puts another great at bat together, and Cole freezes him on that whoops-a-daisy backdoor curveball. He didn't mean to do that.
Like
great
that?
pitch. No, it's great. It's a horrible pitch for a hitter.
Right.
You see it as a ball out of the hand. You're like, okay, that's not a good pitch. And then it just kind of comes back. If a pitcher could master that, man, they'd be in business. They can't. I thought it was interesting. Naylor first 2 at bats, two knocks against Cole's fastball. Like, doesn't really like mess with Cole, but like kind of messes with Soto. Almost like kind of like making a mockery of the at bats. Yeah. It's just how he plays. Obviously, like, seeing the ball well today, he gets a chance with bases loaded.
Yeah.
Instead of, a grand slam or a double in the gap, we get a sac fly. He just missed it. Good swing. I have this on my notes. After that, Ramirez steals second to go second and third again. They bring the base cam out, Jake.
Yeah.
And it was nothing but just dirt covering.
Yeah.
Couldn't even see anything. Base cam is electric usually. You know how we feel about it.
Jimmy has added some commentary that I do agree with. The third base cam, they now have facing home, that the action's going away from you. And I think that's a little better. than the base cam where dirt is just flying in your face and it ends with the blurry screen. So I don't know. We're evolving as a society, and that's the final 2 hours.
They do have those like little cameras like in the cuts of the grass, like pointing at the bases too. Like not the base cam, but like cameras like out in front. Like I feel like those should kind of be like everywhere, for being honest.
Yeah, I like when they have
like little whack-a-mole cameras coming out like up and down. Why not?
I mean, you're my tech guy. We've got the ump out there wearing the Iron Man camera.
Okay, get back to the game. Sorry. So Lane Thomas walks, bases loaded again. They take Cole out, and Clay Holmes comes in. Another first pitch swing by the Guardians. Brennan, it's a fielder's choice. They do score a run, but first pitch.
What I'll add to that, Brennan had some tough at bats. Cole kind of gave him his best stuff. That I think Will Brennan was like, here's Clay Holmes. He throws 90% sinker. If I put one in play, that's productive compared to his previous at bat. So I think that was his thought process.
Sure. But like, we're talking about bases loaded, big time at bats here. And we're just kind of, I wouldn't call them quality at bats. How about that? And then they basically intentionally walk Andres Gimenez because Hedges is in the game. And I guess you have to mention the block by Wells. It's nice to see a guy like, he went to block those balls. He didn't just try to glove it. That saved the run. But Hedges K's, and that puts that fire out. And then it was just kind of Yankees add on. Then Aaron Judge with the big swing. I mean, facing Hunter Gaddis, that has to feel really good. The pitch was not too many people can hit that pitch, man. Like,
yeah,
I think it was the second highest pitch he's ever homered on. Shout out Sarah Langs, our girl. And I hate to say this, Jake. I'm not a Yankee hater. It's excellent for our company if the Yankees go to the World Series. That's the type of swing that gets a guy right. Like I'm not even. Oh, okay.
Foul territory doesn't matter.
I lost it in the dome.
That hit something in the roof. That's in the roof.
That's a roof ball.
That doesn't hurt. Hey, pitcher.
That's the best start people could find.
Get a strikeout. Boost your stats.
I do remember that's right in front of the freaking Blue Jays dugout. It wasn't great for me. But yeah, I lost it, overran it, lost. I was like, oh, sheesh.
I'm sorry.
Who's that? Kurt Suzuki looking at me like, you
Kids
idiot.
Up on Life is the name of that Reddit post? Jesus, that's what you were kind of talking about before the show.
For
anyone not watching on YouTube, maybe go check it out and subscribe to the YouTube because sometimes it's a visual show.
Yeah. I just think you power a ball like that, center field, like little right of center field, which even makes it better. Staying on a heater like that, your swing has to be perfect. We've seen him get close last couple games,
Yeah.
But that could be the swing that like kind of opens the floodgates up, and that is it's scary because if you think about what Glaber and Soto have done, and then having Judge to kind of back them up, he's been in some big spots so far. It's Yankees look good, man. Yankees look good, and the Guardians are fighting for their life, man. They're not playing the perfect baseball that they need to play.
Yeah, in the Yankees lineup, via postseason stats, currently the only holes would be catcher and third base with Wells and Chisholm, who have done their part defensively. Wells saved a run tonight. Been a little lost at the plate, although he had his best at bat to finish the game. Jazz ends up slapping a double in this one. That, all the Yankees' problems right now are kind of first world problems.
Yep.
They are playing well, and it feels like,
if
Judge clicks, like it feels like they haven't been rolling, yet they've won 5 out of their 6 postseason games.
It's kind of felt like that all year, for being honest.
A little bit.
Yeah. I do have, this is part of our conversation during the game when I was texting you. I have a big smile around the bases for Aaron Judge. And it brought me back to like, he used to have the gap, man.
Yeah.
In the teeth, and he fixed them. And you forget about that. And that's part of what we're talking about the digital dark ages. Is anyone going to remember the gap?
When you say we're talking about the digital dark ages, that's you. And you read one article from a guy I believe named Adam. So I don't think we are really having that chat.
It's got me in my feelings a little bit. I just I forgot about the gap. It was endearing, and now he's got the perfect teeth. I get it.
I hated when the gap. I hated when the gap went away because this is also a city that has a star with a gap. Michael Strahan.
Dude, Michael Strahan is like, is he?
Bro,
he's gonna run for president.
Like hosts Good Morning America, which like how many people watch that show? Because I've heard sometimes like what those people make.
Yeah, like $30 million a year. Maybe more.
Nuts. Isn't defensive end like a good one? A great one. Anyways.
Doesn't he have a lisp too? Like
this
guy's doing it.
I was like, sometimes it's good to have signature stuff. I saw a YouTube
100%.
video that was like having there's a hair theory out there that people don't get super famous until they do something weird with their hair. Like Chapel Roan was a recent one. Ninja, the like video game streamer.
Okay,
like,
I know him.
So I don't know. Just another wormhole that we're opening up for people. And I think the Judge example is just like, sometimes big change ain't big change. I remember when Judge got that, it was like, wait, he's losing he's getting new teeth. Like, who is this guy? And it's like,
it looks nice.
It looks better.
It looks better. I came to dinner one night with my buddy Matthew, QB1, and he had just gotten his teeth done. But he had it wasn't the teeth yet. It was just almost like dentures because they were still in the process of it. And there was no space in between his teeth. So he's like, there's no air that goes through it. The way he was talking that night was so funny, man.
Interesting.
Process.
Yeah.
This is all natural.
That's pretty good.
No braces.
My teeth need to be whiter. I'm working on it.
All right, sorry.
I have a buddy that got fake teeth. They're made out of porcelain, and he used to just say he had a potty mouth the whole time, and it's just really good, bad boy humor.
What can the Guardians do to get back in this series? I guess that's kind of my question. Ramirez hits the homer against Weaver. That's great. He's needed to come up, and like we mentioned in some of these big situations. I don't really know. Are you going to outslug this team right now? I said you can't do that, but maybe you have to do that because if Judge is going to get hot and they're going to continue to score runs, I mean, they could have scored more if it wasn't for Jazz and Rizzo. Just what? You guys told me about the base running all year long. Oh, my gosh. Bro.
Yeah. Yeah, the base running famous Yankees radio announcer John Sterling said
was funny.
It looks like they run the bases drunk. I just don't think they coach them hard out there because a lot of these guys are stars that they just let it go. And it's bizarre. And if it hurts them in a game, you'll hear a very different tone. But dude, I guess the other thing, Guardians, okay, whatever their formula is to win, defensively, they basically had 3 errors tonight. It goes down in the books as 2, but they need to be sharper defensively. I think they need to cover up the holes in their lineup. And I don't know if that's just doing small ball productive at bats or if you sub a guy in or out. Let me see any final notes on this one and then teeing up the rest of the series a little more. And it's from our friends at Mountain Dew. Maybe they need a refreshing citrus kick. Maybe that's what Cleveland needs. Go do the dew.
Okay.
Those Cleveland mountains you're always hearing about. The mountain is calling and you should answer. Everyone in Cleveland, have a dew before the game. The stadium will be rowdy.
I like that.
That'll be a rowdy.
I like that.
Jake. Whatever you're into, indoors, outdoors. Maybe you're playing blitzball in the warehouse. I drink my Mountain Dew while I'm fishing. Gives me a little kick. Sometimes I put a little in for the fish, get them a little hopped up. Mountain is calling. You should answer. Grab your friends. Grab an ice cold Mountain Dew wherever refreshing beverages are sold and do the dew. Closing notes on this one.
You really did find one, didn't you?
Oh, God. You had that. Look at
it's
the
a sun
ball
that
day.
That's not my ball.
That's not your ball. That's
Announcers
on the
are saying not your ball, but you after the game said you got to catch that. Accountable.
Yeah, he did.
Accountable king.
I'm trying to come in. I'll do it. I can't see anything. I got no glasses on. That's a tough look for me.
Who's the reliever in there? Penn? Look at the pitcher.
Who is that? Kenneth Vargas, bro. That is your ball. What's going on?
The pitcher just standing right where that ball fell, just pointing to the sky. Saying,
Look at Kenny.
Someone please help me.
All right, I should never have said that. I knew I shouldn't have said
that was a huge mistake. Okay, yeah. Let's be real about this, because I will lay out the Yankee side pretty easily. Rodon was kind of a question mark, playoffs-wise. Had an electric start the previous game. Of all things in the lineup, Judge had been a question mark. He goes yard tonight. His at-bats have looked better. The Yankees have 4 to 5 starting pitchers on this lineup for innings, length, whatever they're looking for. We're going to see Clark Schmidt, Luis Gil, Stroman in the wings if either of them has a tough day. Marcus Stroman in the wings. They're like,
it's back.
Go look at the current Guardians rotation. Go look at the current Dodgers rotation. Like, Marcus Stroman on those teams would be, we'd be talking about like, hey, we need 7 innings from you in this one. The Yankees are feeling really good. They're up 2-0. Bullpen is clicking. For Cleveland to get back in this series, easy. Game 3 is must win. Matthew Boyd has to give them a start. A start, man. Our guy Bibee goes 1.1 in this. And again, it's not shots at him or Vogt, who they were playing a playoff game to try to win, so I get that. But you need a start for Matthew Boyd.
You need to start for Matthew Boyd. You have to clean up the defense. First game, we saw, walks and pass balls and some very uncharacteristic Cleveland type stuff. Again, today, it starts in the first inning with an error. Like you can't set the tone like that. So instead of giving runs away, you got to take some runs away. I think, we'll start there. As far as the offensive side, I think that's just, we knew that. If you follow the Guardians all season long, they don't every game 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. It's not a team that's going to outslug you. It is going to be timely hitting, but Ramirez and Naylor have to slug.
And they showed signs tonight. Like Naylor
showed signs tonight. They're gonna have to get it done. They're gonna have to try to match up with the Quan, Ramirez, and Naylor. Quan's been great. Rocchio's been great. Maybe there's some sort of flop there, although I don't know why you would change that. Just keep that 9-1 together, because they have been getting on base for those guys in the middle of the order. I mean, I think that's kind of what I'm looking at. Like, those guys just have to have the big hits. I mean, it's crunch time and it's do or die. If you don't get those, and I don't know what they are with runners in scoring position through the first 2 games, it's not good. If you're not getting those hits with runners in scoring position, you're not going to win this series. That's the bottom line. You could talk about the pitching all you want, but you're not going to win with the way their offense is kind of performing right now. We haven't even seen Clase in this series at all. I don't know when there would have been a time to bring him in. People could say maybe in the 8th instead of Gaddis, but Gaddis has been great. I don't think that's really the case there. So I'm assuming we'll see him almost like no matter what. Game 3.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm kind of searching for ways that the Guardians get back in the series, and that can't be a good feeling for Guardians fans, because I don't think I'm far off with this one, man.
Hey, the Yankees did struggle against lefties this year. So Matt Boyd, who was very good for the Guardians, if he can give them a start, Cade Smith looked sharp in his outing today. Tim Herron looked good. Like, if they can go.
Yeah, I mean, they got 4 guys that they really, really love back there.
Boyd,
Gaddis, Herron,
Boyd, Smith, Herron,
Cade,
and get it to
Clase.
Class A. Gaddis, hey, I'm not saying he's got to be out for the series. He got today. But you can put that together. And yeah, dude, I'm glad you brought it up. The Yankees pitched around Jimenez twice today, which, like, his numbers this season and even this postseason aren't electric. But the fact that you can allow the Yankees to do that, that's a problem. And dude, I feel like we've done this with almost every playoff game except like the 9-0 Dodgers game. Like, Josh Naylor was up with the bases loaded. That if he shoots the gap or finds, hits one 315 down the line, it's a very different storyline. So, hey, the Yankees are feeling really good. Rizzo hadn't played, broke his hand. He's getting on base at a 500 clip. Anthony Volpe, the young kid, is putting together really good at-bats this postseason. Verdugo, who was, Yankee fans were wondering if they were going to, waive him in August. He's made the plays, and he's given good at-bats down there that it's Clark Schmidt versus Matthew Boyd. Clark has been really solid this year. He's not much for length necessarily in games, that if Cleveland can get a lead, and the first time that we're seeing 3 back-to-back games, if you can also have the Yankees not use their A pen, this is a first 5-inning game for these teams. Make sure the Yankees don't use their A pen. Make sure you use your A pen. And that's very feasible. I think Game 3 is Cleveland's, and maybe this is peacocking. I think this is their best chance to win.
Okay. It seems grim to me, if I'm just really being objective here.
Hey, it's one of the beauties of what we can do here is, this isn't like broadcasting from the 2000s. I am a Yankees fan. Easily the best I've ever felt. The best BBD's felt. The best Jimmy's felt. The best Joe's has felt.
Maybe that's exactly what they need, is for you to say something like that.
Just the creepy neighbor. Just the creepy neighbor.
Yeah, look, I mean, they were what? They were 2 innings away from going home, and then David Fry hits the homer against the Tigers. I mean, they've done it. They've been there. They've done that 100%.
Their best pitcher hasn't pitched in this series. J-Ram goes yard. You can find stuff, but I don't know. I think Yankees fans feel pretty good about winning 2 of the next 5.
I just got in on Austin Hedges' high school scouting report. 2nd rounder by the Padres. Wow. 2011 as San Juan Capistrano. Jay Serra, which is Royce Lewis. A lot of guys went to Jay Serra. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I got sidetracked a lot this episode because I'm thinking about heavy things, people.
Yeah. Go check out Hedges' baseball reference. It's a unique page.
Guardians catchers in the postseason so far between Bo Naylor and Austin Hedges are 0 for 23. It's black hole, man. Speaking of black holes, we need to end this episode.
Yeah, I would. What I don't want to see from the Guardians is having all the threats in the lineup, like Junkensi, David Fry, Manzardo. Subscribe. Thank you, guys.
They've had chances. I guess you could say that. If you're a Guardians fan, you're like, F you, Poof. You know what you're talking about. You've had chances.
Mets, Dodgers.
You got to come with it.
In Flushings.
Walker Buehler, Moxie King.